In today's lesson, we're going to discuss stirring your customer, your client, lead, prospect, stirring their curiosity. One of the biggest drives that most people have is simple curiosity. It's what makes people seek out new inventions and new adventures. If we didn't have curiosity, our culture would be stagnant and we'd never have discovered fire or learned how to cook and create recipes. Finding out what happens next when you do something is a very strong motivator for the human species, and it can be used to help you sell your products. All you have to do is put yourself in the position of the buyer and then try to figure out how to tease them into wanting to know more. So, what's the strategy here? The biggest question in your prospective buyer's mind may be just exactly what is this new product like? As simple as that may sound, the drive behind that would be curiosity. It's like when you are sitting at a restaurant and you're looking at the menu, trying to make a choice of what to buy. Your inclination is to read the description and become curious about one dish versus another. You may even decide to ask the waitress what the dish is like before you order. Similarly, most people want to have some idea of what the product they're deciding upon is like to experience. In face-to-face selling, answering that question is easy. You pull out a sample or the actual product and let them try it out. Viola, instant sale. But online, the curiosity itself has to be used to get the potential customer to imagine what it would be like to experience this product. Or you get them so worked up about finding out for themselves what it's like that they're willing to put their money down to order it just to answer the question for themselves. So basically, you can either choose to leave the product somewhat mysterious and by nature of what you don't say, sell that product with a trigger of curiosity. Or you can choose to give exquisite detail of what the product is like, with the caveat that the buyer must experience it for themselves to really understand how wonderful the experience really is or will be. In other words, you will constantly allude to the experience with descriptive, powerful copy without actually making it easy for the mind to grasp. It's always slightly out of focus. Your copy should also have a similar style, even if you decide to focus on the story or stop just short of revealing the secret that you are going to share to your readers unless they buy your product. And there are many ways to keep people engaged using a style that triggers curiosity by using phrases like, wait, there's more. Or, if you think this is interesting, wait until you hear what I have to say now. These types of phrases pull the reader deep into the copy. They stir the curiosity to get to the point of the sales page or sales letter of the product. So, what are the psychological triggers? If you ever remember being enchanted by bedtime stories as a youngster, you know that you couldn't wait to know what happened to the hero or heroine at the end of the story. Once you're involved in a story, no matter what it is, you want to know how it ends. On the other hand, if you tell the reader too much too soon, the story loses its charm. There's no more sense of mystery or excitement. Anything that is too quick to reveal its charm can come off as a desperate attempt to seduce the reader in a cheap and trashy way. Often it turns people off instead of turning them on. However, if you can leave just a little of that story untold and bring the reader in by holding back a touch, then you will find that they have a much higher interest level in the product you offer. So, even though the product hasn't changed, you've triggered a psychological element in the person reviewing the offer that values something that isn't so quick to give itself away. That's because people value things that are exotic, mysterious, and slightly out of reach. If it's available to everyone and easy to, then people tend to value it less. It devalues itself by making itself appear common instead of intriguing. So, adding an air of mystery or making something just slightly out of reach can be a great way to not only stir your potential customers' curiosity, but also bring up the estimation of value for your own product. So, how do you implement this effectively? If you're selling products that have intellectual property rights, like books, then you have a perfect market for this particular strategy. That's because what you are selling lends itself quite well to disclosing only some information, but not all of it. That's reserved for people who buy your product. If you take a look at Amazon.com, they know how to use this strategy to sell their books online. They let you take a peek inside the book and show you the table of contents and a sample chapter sometimes. This is a great way to stir the reader's curiosity, particularly if the chapter ends at a point where it's begging you to buy the book to find out what happens next. While Amazon's strategy takes a bit of technical know-how, you can do the same with your sales page. You can give just enough information to the reader to stir their curiosity and then make the offer to have them buy whatever it is that you're selling to satisfy their curiosity. You can also use this strategy on your sales page. You would tell the reader that you're going to reveal a benefit or payoff somewhere in the sales page that will really be of value to the reader. They'll be encouraged to read the entire sales page just to find out the secret that you've hidden in there somewhere. It's sort of the same strategy as when you're given a clue at the beginning of a sales letter that lets the reader in on a way to save big money on an offer. If they read the entire letter and follow the instructions hidden somewhere in the middle, well, there you go. Here, you're telling them if they take the time to unveil the mystery of how to get an extra discount, then they will be rewarded by saving money. Not only are you getting people engaged in the copy this way, but you are also raising the probability that they will take the time to comprehend the offer too. That's because you will have captured their attention more and they'll be more likely to pay closer attention to your offer. This can really benefit you if what you're selling, needs this type of higher level comprehension. Aside from letting the reader know that there is a secret or mystery that you're willing to unveil in the copy, you can also stir curiosity through testimonials. A testimonial is an account of someone else using the product that you're selling and how they perceived it added value to their lives. This can work very well to stir the imagination and curiosity of people online who don't have the luxury of holding a sample in their hands or downloading a demo copy. So, say you are selling acne fighting makeup. Of course, you can include a number of testimonials of how it cleared up the face of people in record time and how it made their face feel silky smooth and greaseless. But an even more effective approach would be to simply have a video of someone trying it and showing their confidence and love of life increase just because they used the product. Isn't this what most commercials do? There's the aftershave that after it's used, the man becomes a chick magnet. And, of course, it may sound unbelievable, but many men will be tempted to try the product to see if it really works. What's important to remember, though, is that you don't make any statements that aren't true about your product. In the commercials that show men being swamped by women after they put on a specific aftershave, there's never a statement that suggests that the aftershave itself has the power to draw women like flies. Instead, it alludes to and hinted at so that the potential buyer gets curious as to whether it really would work for them. Some questions you want floating around in the minds of your potential buyer after they read your copy are, how would it feel for me to experience this product? Or, will it work this way for me? In order to get that question to float around and hook into the mind of the potential buyer, you have to leave some of the facts unsaid. You have to allude to things rather than be straightforward, where the logic mind can then reject the trigger very easily. Instead, engage the emotions and the desire to experience the product for themselves. Okay, let's talk about timing this strategy. There are various times to use this strategy depending on whether you are sowing small seeds of curiosity with leading statements that ask the reader to keep reading to unveil more of your message, or whether you have one giant secret you're going to unveil somewhere in the copy. If you're doing the hidden secret in the copy type of strategy, you need to be upfront at the very beginning of your offer that there's something hidden deep within the copy that will be of great value to them. Maybe it saves them money. Maybe it gives them a free gift. Maybe it provides them with an upgrade for using a specific code. You get to decide what that benefit is and make sure the reader knows that it will be of high value to them. And then you can either tell them what it is or keep leading them into the copy to get them even more curious. Then, after you tell them at the beginning, keep your word and hide the secret benefits somewhere in the copy so they can have the joy of discovering it for themselves and reaping the benefit. If you're using this strategy in small bite-sized chunks, then you might spread out small phrases like, wait until you hear what's coming next. This will make people keep reading the copy, even though no specific benefit has been claimed for reading the next part of the copy. It's just an instrument to stir curiosity. In cases like that, you will do this every so often down the copy of the sales page. It should be interspersed throughout the copy in regular intervals to lead the reader through the copy with a sense of expectation and anticipation, characteristic of the state of curiosity. Lastly, if you're using the strategy of alluding to some experience that the reader must have for themselves, you'll want to create a story of a firsthand experience, either through words or a video, without actually saying what benefits they will get from it. Instead, allude to some experience that just has to be seen for themselves to get the full impact, and for that, they need to buy the product. Then you will want the entire sales page or promotion to be all about these allusions, and then make sure at the end they know where to order the product that will satisfy their curiosity. That concludes this lesson. We'll see you in the next video.